Welcome to Comadres y Comics. Comadres y Comics is a podcast hosted by 3 Latina women.
We highlight the Latinx presence in the comic book industry as creators, characters, and fans.
Join us as we talk chisme, comics, fandom, and beer. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Comadres y Comics. This is episode 238. We are your hosts. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jen.
Welcome back, ladies. Here we are, back at it again with the recording of the new episodes.
Hell yeah. We're back, baby. And guess what? Look at what I have. And also this.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, check it.
What is that?
It's Michelangelo's David.
I love it.
Oh, I see it now.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's so cute.
Got it with my hard-earned tax dollars. Because I did my taxes. You all should do your taxes so you're not freaking out about it.
Agreed.
Yeah. Sooner the better.
All right, guys. Now it's time for Chisme de la Semana. Kristen, what kind of chisme do you have for us today?
So, it has been announced that the return of Chispa Comics is coming in April 2025. If you do not recall, Chispa was the Latinx storytelling imprint with Latinx creators and characters. Started with Scout Comics back in, I think, 2021. And then Scout went through some crazy drama. They were highly criticized because they weren't paying their creators. Who knows even if Chispa ever got paid for the things that they actually have already released through Scout. But a new up-and-coming publishing company that is creator-owned called AMP, A-M-P, has partnered now with Mucho Mas to relaunch Chispa. And the cool thing is that the first book that is scheduled to be released is called Rosario, and it is giving Shining vibes. Look at the creepy twins.
I saw the creepy twin cover. I was like, is this The Shining? What's going on? Is this like a story, like a backstory on the twins and what happened to them? But it's just by comics.
Yes. So this is written by Ellen Treza. The artist is Hugo Petras. And this story is about two young twin sisters, Griselda and Jimenia, and they're part of a family of curanderas, known as the Sisters of the Crescent Moon. They possess magical abilities and are prohibited from conjuring dark magic until Jimenia succumbs to temptation. Now, Griselda must embark on a perilous journey to stop her twin's sinister transformation. Read the origin story of the terrifying feature film starring David Dastmalchian from Suicide Squad. He's the polka dot man in Suicide Squad. So apparently, and this happened actually with the book that Chispa had before, the one Black Demon.
The one
that was based on a movie too. Yes. So this one apparently is this is the origin story of these sisters apparently who show up in this movie that is already released called it just says the origin story. So I guess it's called Rosario too.
I think what happens is because I saw the movie, so what happens, it's actually a legend they made a movie out of, that they made a comic out of. So I think that's what's happening with this too. So like it's a legend that then was made into a movie that then the comic book has the same characters that were in the movie. So it's not like based on the movie, more as based on like a legend or a story, kind of like from Latinx heritage of some sort. So like the Black Demon was basically like Mexican, like I think Yucatan kind of like vibes. Yeah. So do we know anything about whether they're going to continue releasing like Ay Romina, I think was one of them, Black Demon.
Thanks, Romina.
Thanks, Romina. Yes. Yeah. Do we know that if they're gonna continue releasing those stories?
It just says that the article that I read just acknowledges that those stories had been previously released through Scout. And that there were actually two stories that were never released, called Dial F for Foodie by Aaron Duran and Fantastic Flame by Alex Segura and Chantel Azevedo, and Richard Ortiz. But there isn't anything saying that they're going to continue to publish those stories. So I wonder if the creators have any information about that. It says here that, let's see, that just Rosario #1 is going to be released as the first flagship published works to be released in April of 2025, but doesn't say anything about if they're going to continue any of the other stories or not. So I actually believe that a representative from AMP or Chispa is going to be at Comics Pro next week, and I will definitely ask that question.
Yeah, and
Nice.
that's really great that you bring that up, because also I thought that it was Scout Comics that wasn't Scout Comics, that it was Chispa Comics that weren't paying their creators. But it turns out it was
No.
the Scout Comics that was.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yes.
that could leave any creator with a sour taste in their mouth and not willing to just work with them again. So not Scout Comics, but maybe Chispa. So maybe that's why we may not see those titles anymore. But who knows at this point? But it would be amazing, Chisme, if you brought back all the Chisme.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my radar. And Kristen, you told us that you had some stuff on your radar. What's going on in that head of yours? What is on your radar?
Yes, I am very excited to share about a book that I just learned about being released later this month called Self-Help Comics. It's being released February 25th by Image, and it is a book where readers are going to be introduced to down on his luck rideshare driver Jerry Hauser, whose existence is a bleak one, especially because every fare he picks up tells him how much he looks like the ultra-successful self-help guru Darren Hart. But in a twist of fate, Jerry is given the chance of a lifetime, which, if he's not careful, may well end his lifetime. So begins the rollicking and gleefully lurid pulp crime story. Now, I love me some pulp crime. And it says, from there, the story races ahead at an ever-increasing speed and with an ever-increasing body count as Jerry assumes his rival's identity, fights to keep the lid on the murder, fends off the Euro gangsters to whom Darren was heavily indebted, placates Darren's calculating assistant Cassandra, and rebuilds his relationship with his estranged ex-wife Michelle and daughter Amelia. Oh, and he also needs to avoid the white supremacists that hold Jerry's personal marker, except to them, he's Danny McClure, and keep up his driver rating. So the reason why I'm excited about this and that it's on my radar is because it is written by Owen King, and that is the other son of Stephen King. And because I am such a big Stephen King fan, I do like to read like Joe Hill stuff when he had the was it Black Label? I don't know. He had a horror imprint with DC a while back with Basket Full of Heads and some other stuff. But so this is a graphic novel by Owen King that's going to come out later this year. So that is what's on my radar. Not later this year, later this month.
That sounds really cool. That's really interesting. Like I have another friend who was thinking of writing short stories about his rideshare experiences. He's like, rideshare.
Oh, I bet he has some stories
as a driver and stuff like that. So that sounds really interesting. And then to take on the identity of somebody more successful, I can't wait to see the hijinks ensue. Ladies and gentlemen, la hora de la cervecita. What are we drinking today? Woo!
The
Yes.
Heritage Amber Lager. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So this
look at that
is
font. Look at that font.
yeah, that's so cool. So this is a Crowns and Hops Brewing Company beer, and Crowns and Hops is a black-owned business, and I believe they are located in Inglewood. Is that true? Let me see here.
Yes. Yes, they are black
Yeah.
owned, woman owned, and veteran owned, all in one breath, baby.
Oh,
So
nice.
yes.
So
Happy Black History Month,
let's see.
everyone.
So
History Month.
this amber lager is crafted with a rich malt character featuring notes of toffee with a light toasted biscuit aroma, culminating in a smooth, balanced finish. The Heritage honors the profound impact of Black Americans, past and present, who have shaped and transformed the world through culture, science, civil rights, military, art, and more. Heritage is not just history, it's a living legacy that continues to inspire and impact us all. As a proud Black owned brewery, we are honored to build upon this foundation of excellence and contribute to a story of resilience, creativity, and greatness. I am the Heritage. So that's actually pretty cool. And then there's a little tagline on the bottom that says, preserve culture, expand palates, build community.
That's right.
Now that's a goblet.
Ooh, look at that.
Right.
This is Black excellence, baby.
Oh my god.
That's right.
That's really it's an amber lager, right? Not just a plain lager?
It's an amber.
Amber
yeah.
Oh,
lager.
okay, I was gonna say, I'm just like, that's really dark for a lager.
Inglewood in the house.
Yas. All right.
Oh yeah. That is
smells good.
delicious. Delicious. I'm so
Ooh, it
excited.
does smell really good.
Oh my god. This is just the perfect crown on our Black History Month celebration here on the podcast. Just delicious. And look at the can. This gold stripe crown. And
Wow.
that beautiful
That's
freaking
good.
font on the Heritage Amber Lager with the crown on top. I mean, come on. They know how to do it. They know how to do it. I love their beers. So good.
This is delicious.
Yes, so I specifically borrowed this goblet from my brother to serve this amazing brew. So what do you guys think so far?
I'm not gonna lie. I what was it, last episode? Didn't we drink a lager?
Yes, we did, I think.
Pilsner.
And we
No,
were
Pilsner.
Oh, it's a Pilsner.
a Pilsner. Well, they're kind of like along the same lines of like the lager family of like really light beers. And we weren't impressed with that one. were we?
I wasn't. Sarah liked it.
I compared it to biting tinfoil,
Yes.
Right.
if I remember correctly.
As I was listening to it and editing it, I was laughing.
Well, yeah. Well, this is a much, much, much better improvement. This is really, really delicious. You can definitely I think taste like it's not like it's super overwhelming toffee, but it's like it's slightly there, and it lends it like a viscosity that makes it feel that it's not super light. It's not heavy. It's by no means like stout or a porter or anything, but it's definitely heavier than like a pilsner or your regular lager or like one of those other like lighter wit beers. This has, it has a little bit of heft, a little presence to it that isn't overwhelming, and is super, super delicious.
Yes, definitely. I get, I don't know what that flavor is, but the fact that there's just flavor compared to last week's beer is a big improvement, because last week's beer I didn't taste anything at all. But I'm not necessarily a fan of ambers because I don't know. I guess the ambers I've had in the past just were not that good. Eddie actually enjoys them. He drinks the amber at the Red Car all the time. Um, and I think maybe just the color of it would kind of like put me off because, of course, it makes me think of porters or stouts. But this is very, very flavorful. I taste. I don't know what it is that I taste. I do taste a very, very slight hint of toffee. But there's something else there, but it just really is
Well, there's
flavorful
kind
and
of a
enjoyable and not too heavy.
there is. I think it's that
Mm.
toasty bit that said like
Toffee?
the
Like a
toasted
biscuit.
biscuit aroma. Well, yeah, it's that. But the way that I would put it, it's almost like, have you ever tasted the burnt part of the marshmallow? And
Yes.
like just the
Mm-hmm,
burnt
mm-hmm.
part. I'm not talking about like the rest of
The whole,
like
yes.
the whole of the just the part that gets like slightly burned over the fire. That kind of like slight
Right.
smokiness with like that's, but it has like the shadow of sugar to it. That's what this kind of like, that slight. And again,
Mm-hmm.
it's not overwhelming. It's very, very
Right.
subtle. It's very, very light, and it kind of lingers a little bit. This like a kind of like a slight smokiness, and it's absolutely delicious. I love it.
Yeah. I was I mean, I knew I was gonna like this brew because I like this brewery. They do a lot of great brews out there that I
We've
usually
had a
I
lot of
felt
great brews.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
actually picked this one up at Whole Foods of all places,
Oh,
right?
cool.
Whole
Yeah,
Foods, they're at
Whole
Whole
Foods.
Foods.
Yes,
Hell
and then
yeah.
they're also in
Nice.
they're also in the Target in Compton too as well. Um,
Well,
so
I
we
mean, they're just
are
legally
boycotting
obligated.
Target.
Yeah.
oh no, I mean the
Yeah, how
last
long
time
are they gonna last in Target now that Target has gotten rid of all their DEI?
I
Yeah.
went, well, the last time I went, it was years ago, and they had crowns and hops at Target. I don't know about now. I haven't been to Target in a while, but yeah, no, I definitely first thing as soon as I saw the can art that said heritage with the color and the font and I'm like this is crowns and hops, and then of course you know how I'm blind. I had to open the door and then look inside and pull it out. I'm like, this is crowns and hops. So like I already know, and I was like, I can't wait to try this. I'm just like so excited to share this. So I'm just like, I love this crispy flavor. It's like so uniquely like light but flavorful, and I really like that kind of like you said, the little burnt kind of thing, and then kind of like a little bit of bitterness of the toffee. It's perfect. I just really loved it. Are we ready to actually rate it? And what is our rating scale, Kristen?
Yes, so we have a 5 point rating scale where 1 out of 5 is very unsatisfied, a 2 out of 5 is just regularly unsatisfied, a 3 out of 5 is neutral, a 4 out of 5 is satisfied, and a 5 out of 5 is very satisfied. And if a beer is off the charts, it is Super Saiyan. And I am going to give the Heritage Amber Lager by Crowns and Hops a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it a lot, and actually, I had it here sitting for probably an hour and a half. So it's cold out, my heater's off. It stayed cool, but I think, oh, fresh out of the ice chest, just dripping in ice on a warm day, it would be very, very refreshing.
Yes, this is Sarah, and I'm gonna go next. And I actually took it out of the refrigerator too, but I had mine wrapped in um a cold pack, so I was able to keep it cold. And let me tell you guys, for me, with the cold crispiness of it, Super Saiyan. What about you, Jen?
So I actually just cracked mine out of the box that it was delivered to me in. Um, and it's really cold in my room. It's always cold in my room, actually. Um, but this is definitely, it would have been colder in the fridge. And,
Mm.
so room temp is what it was at. But I actually don't think that's too bad. I actually think that allowed me to taste the more warmer notes that this beer obviously has, and I think was aiming for as well. So I think those made them really pronounced, because I was really able to taste the toffee
Mm.
and that kind of
Nice.
like toasted marshmallow flavor. I know it said it's Biscoff? Biscuit. Biscoff biscuit. But I think those were really highlighted for me because it wasn't super cold. I think if it was really really cold, I might not have gotten that impression. I think maybe it might have tasted a little bit more like a regular lager to me. But I'm also not saying that I wouldn't have because it's not cold. But it is definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. Very, very, very satisfied. This is a delicious beer. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. Wow. So I'm just loving it with my big old goblet. That has been our beer review. It's time for our book review. What are we reviewing today, ladies?
So today we are reviewing um so we were going to review an entire like series, but we kind of got a little bit lost on which one we are supposed to be reading. But the entire series itself is called I just said it.
Antiplano.
Yeah.
Altiplano.
Altiplano, the Altiplano saga. And it is by Gustaffo Vargas. And the Altiplano saga is made out of Manu, Puño, and Pilcuyo, with side stories Lima and Trujillo.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So this was actually originally a Kickstarter, um, uh, and a very successful Kickstarter. I remember when they went up, and I remember backing them, and I kind of lost track of it over time. But then when the third and final like volume of the series came out, Pilcuyo, I recalled about it, and I backed up, and then I grabbed all of the issues that had come out. So I grabbed like I forgot what tier it was, but it basically included everything. And then I kind of forgot about it a little bit. I never finished reading it. Like I bought it, I got it, and then I kind of like forgot about it, as tends to happen. So this, when we decided to read this, I was 100% okay, and it was like a nice trip down memory lane because I was reminded why I picked this out, because it is so good. I love like reading Manu. I was just like, oh, I remember why I love this and why I picked it up. The artwork, the story, the characters, they were all super intriguing. Very very great first issue. Very interesting. Very grabbing. Very like you get a setup, you get a little bit of payoff, but you're still like reeled in by the story. And just I think the design aspects and the little back matter that we got in that first issue too was enough to like keep me motivated and keep me interested in the story. I still somehow did not manage to read the last issue, Pilcuyo, but I did read the second issue, and I did read Lima, which was one of the side stories, because I got a little like confused, and I was just like, wait, which one am I supposed to read first? And then I was like, and then I lost track of time. But I loved it.
Oh, absolutely. I read the whole thing. I read all three volumes, and then I went back and read the other two issues. And it seems to me that Trujillo was kind of a standalone story, but Lima was kind of like what happened before the whole um, Antiplano story began. And that was when they were kids and how they were living off the streets. And so what happens is there is this kid who they call Limon, and he's this like kind of chubby, kind of sad little kid, and he's the one in the whole group that pretends to cry in order to get like limosnas, which is ¿cómo se dice cuando when you pides limosna?
Like
When you're
it's
begging for
basically
money,
begging.
begging for
Yeah.
money. So
Panhandling.
panhandling, yes. So
Yeah.
he's the crier of the group. They're this little like family less like they don't have parents, they're living on the streets, and so it's made up of like I don't know like 7 kids or whatever, and Limon is the guy who cries, and so they do this little kind of like show, and that's how they get like sympathy from the people, and they get a little bit of money, whatever, and then they hang out on the rooftops and whatever. There is this instance where they're on the rooftop, and then there's like a fight going on at the bottom, and this guy gets killed, but before he dies he shoots the guy who killed him right in the head. And it's these rival gangs, and so they climb down from the azotea or the roof, and then they pick up a package that they were fighting over. They go back, they find this package. It looks like some kind of squid, some kind of marine animal. And Limon jokingly says, "Fuck that, let's just eat it." And they're like, "Stop it." And so it takes place in sort of like this kind of like hyper futuristic, like Lima, Peru. So everybody has like this tech guy, almost like Judge Dredd, the new one, where they have that tech guy who's also like they're poor, but he's really like super smart. So he tries to tap into this squid, and all of a sudden he gets overridden. Like his fire walls are being just destroyed and everything. It's, oh my god, what's going on? But then they get attacked. They found out that these kids have the squid, but nobody knows what the squid is. But it has to do something with some kind of like hyper, like AI or some shit. And so everybody's getting like, they're fighting or whatever. And Limon gets the bright idea to grab the squid and swallow it. And so the bad guys, they take the box and it's empty, and it's like, oh shit, Limon swallowed the squid. And so he's in a like coma for like 3 days. When he comes out of it, he really comes out of it. So what this story at the beginning and throughout the story, what it reminds me of, and even at the end, it reminds me a lot of Akira. I don't know if you guys are yes. So I actually cried at the very last issue because the ending was so just, oh my god. But I gotta tell you guys, the artwork, my god, the splash pages were just glorious, amazing artwork. And then that story about one of the survivors of the small little gang, she's already a woman now in the rest of the story, and she has this girlfriend, but she never tells her girlfriend anything about her past life. And she's protected by these wild animals in the forest that also have like mechanical alterations to them. So they
Cybernetic animals.
Yes. So one of them, Bigote, which is kind of like a monkey, he talks to her, and they protect her all the time. But all of a sudden, these entities that were trying to get a hold of this squid find her, and all of a sudden hell on earth all of a sudden all over again. So you get to see like them as innocent children, the transition of her kind of going into hiding, and we don't even know where Limon is at this point. We don't know. He just told her, you have to go away. There's going to be a transition that I'm going to go through that I don't want you to see. And right before she leaves, she sees something in this room through this window, and she gasps, and then she runs away. And these cybernetic animals, they protect her in the forest, but then she befriends a girl, and they have like a beautiful love between them, and it's really beautiful. But the girl, her partner, is really upset because she never talks about her past. She's like, it's better that you don't know. But she's like, so, and I thought that was the big part of the story, but then it's not even the big part of the story, because she breaks up with her and says, no, I don't love you anymore, I don't want you, you're so whiny, I don't want to be with you, whatever. And then that's when the real action starts happening. So it's like just a freaking roller coaster. The development, the characters. There's so many characters. I can't even begin to label them all. All I'm saying is, if you guys get a hold of this comic book, you have to read it. Absolutely. What do you guys think?
Jen, is this book still available for people to?
Yes,
Right?
it still is. Gustaffo has his like own like link tree, and you can still you can buy it. Let me, but it is still available for purchase. You can buy it on his Big Cartel online store.
Yes.
You can get the hardcover that has I believe all of them. Graphic novel. Yeah, the complete Altiplano Saga 3-pack. It's, oh no, wait, I'm so sorry. It's sold out.
Oh shit. Okay, but maybe you could get
Yeah.
the what is it called? The electronic copy or whatever.
Digital.
You can
PDF?
get Trujillo, and then they have Anticucho, which I believe it's a bunch of side stories as well. I
What
sorry,
was the original language, Jen? I know that they translated to English, but
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know.
believe I believe the original language was probably in Spanish.
Because in the comic book, when you read it, it's in Spanish, it's translated to Spanish, but there's also like a native language, which I thought they did a wonderful job of.
Mhm.
They put the actual like dialogue in the language, and then they did a little translation in English at the bottom, and I thought that was so cool because you could see, it was just great because they had also like a lot of native people that live in Peru, which was a massacre. That's anyway, it's so full of a lot of action, and the artwork is so dynamic, and just colorful, and just even the faces and the contortions of their faces was just really great. I just loved it. What do you think, Kristen? I know Jen is looking up to see if the book is available.
Yeah. So immediately when I went to the files we had and I saw that there was volume one, two, three. I started with volume one. Um, you are so struck by the art, and both of you have already mentioned it, and not just the art, but the coloring of everything. Whoever the colorist is really captures the feel um, of Peru and the jungle and all, even though they're cybernetic, the animals. I every time something new, not like a cybernetic monkey talking, or she had a cybernetic arm, or like just all those kinds of things. Every time something happened, it was just so compelling for the story to move forward. The story is so intricate in the many different relationship development and character development, and it is just, you kind of don't know what the heck is going on. But issue two, I was gonna say season two,
Incredible.
for volume two, you get some exposition where it actually explains specifically what's going on. And then when you find out really what happened with Limon, and then what ends up happening with Limon, it was just really heartwarming and heart wrenching, actually. So,
Yes.
Gustaffo is an amazing storyteller, and he was also the artist, I believe. So, just like everything just comes together, and knowing that there is like a quote unquote prequel for Limon actually is great, and any side stories that have to do with this world is pretty cool. So if Jen does find some information and you guys are able to go and read any of these single issues, I highly recommend it.
Okay, so right now it seems it's not available simply because of like shipping problems because of Brexit. Gustavo is Peruvian, but he is currently living in the UK, and
That's
all of
right.
his prices are UK prices. So he's probably just trying to figure out how that's gonna work. There it doesn't seem to be a digital version available as of right now, but he is still making things. He has a comic book, Null Hunter, out right now, which is like a cyberpunk Hercules. Um, and there is Anticucho, which is still available to purchase, both digitally and physically, and have it sent shipped. But for right now, Altiplano is not available.
Oh, so sorry, but
Boo.
it's
I
absolutely
know.
it's worth to like it for you to be on your radar, and maybe email the creator. Maybe I don't know, like reach out to the creator, and maybe we could inspire him to release it digitally. That would be amazing because we
Yeah,
actually
and
read it digitally, and it was
Yeah.
perfect.
yeah.
Hmm.
So he does have his own website. It is GustafoVargas.com, and Gustavo is GUSTAFFOVARGAS.com. And he has an email right there that you can email him at, which is the same thing, GustavoVargas@gmail.com. And it has links to his Instagram, his Linktree, his Blue Sky, his online shop, which is a big cartel shop. Um, um, but definitely email him, tell him that you're interested in this and that you want to get more, or you want to like be able to purchase it still. I think right now he's kind of focusing on his other projects, but if there's enough interest still in most of his works, and it was very successful on Kickstarter, extremely successful. So I'm surprised that it hasn't been picked up by something else, or maybe it has, and maybe that's why it's not available, is because it might have been picked up and it's going to be printed in something else.
Mm,
So just maybe we can get an update or something, because this
yeah.
is an incredible comic. It really
Mhm.
is. Like the artwork, if you want like really good sci-fi but that's innovating, it's not something that feels rehashed, but it's still like kind of gives you Sarah said that it gave her Akira vibes. To me, it gave me kind of Blade Runner vibes mixed with
Mm-hmm.
like a
Mm,
little bit of like Akira, but also a little bit of like that first volume of Love and Rockets as well. And it's amazing. Like this is such an incredibly rich world, but it's still so very, very like it's filled with culture and heritage,
Mm-hmm.
while still being set in this like future with which is incredibly amazing, but it still has like kind of dystopic but not really,
mm.
because there's like hope and the people, there's there's struggles, yes, but there's I love it, I love it. There's a lot.
Oh, and let me just tell you that like the fashion in this comic book is amazing.
A1.
Oh my god. And it was like culturally it's sort of like it like okay, just picture I know it's hard to picture this, but like it picture like when we saw Black Panther and when we were like walking through the streets of Wakanda and it was like with all the face tattoos and the body modifications, but the regal like uh, um um fashion just it all meshed together. So that's what this is like.
Hmm.
You get like face tattoos and like piercings and like all like it almost had different tribe vibes within like Peru, and it was just freaking sensational with body modifications as well, like Kristen was saying about the robotic arm, and even the jungle animals with the cybernetic alterations. One of my favorites with the guinea pigs that were altered to transport drugs. So I mean, this world is so intricate and detailed and just really blew my mind, like totally blew my mind. And I gotta say, like the very last few pages, my god, that just hit me in the feels, guys. That I mean, this creator is so gifted, definitely. Are we ready to rate it, and what is our rating scale?
Mhm. So our book rating scale is a scale of 1 to 3 conchas, because 3 conchas is the most Jen's mom ever let her eat in one sitting. So that was the best. If a book is off the charts, then we will come up with our own individualized rating. And I will go first since my audio is off and I can go ahead and start. I am going to give this book the whole panaderia. I loved it. I was intrigued and enthralled in the storytelling and the art and everything from the beginning to the end. So I am giving it the whole panaderia.
Oh, absolutely. I was just so like at the beginning, I was like, how long is this comic book going to be? Did I put up enough time to read it? Like, but I knew that I remember Jen having it on her in la libreria segment. So I was like,
Mm.
I'm familiar with it, you know? And then I read a little bit of like the synopsis and I was like, okay, I'm ready. But I wasn't ready, guys. The ending just really got to me. I was like, this, how can this make me cry? And it was just so good. Just, oh my God, I cannot say enough about this. So for me, it's a whole panaderia. And I don't know what kind of liquor they drink in Peru, but whatever it is, the whole bottle of that. Definitely.
Hi, this is Jen, and I'm also giving it the entire panaderia. I, uh, I'm such a fan of like sci-fi and like cyberpunk stuff as well. I mean, my whole like aesthetic tries to achieve some of it as well. Like, let's be real, but I also get very like worn out and very worn down by a lot of like, I think everything either tries to be Star Wars or Star Trek, and in doing that they lose a lot of like, personality. This does not. This is
Nope.
so new and so refreshing and still very classically cyberpunk and science fiction and high tech
And
and
cultural.
and
Yes.
cultural. That is
Yes.
another thing. You don't need to know Spanish. You might not even really need to know like the full like history of Peru, but it definitely helps. At least
Yes.
looking at a map and being like kind of being able to tell like where some of these places are. But that's what's cool about it. Like you can go and you can look at it and then you can just imagine. It's not that hard to throw yourself into this possible futuristic world that may not be like a metaphor for the United States or whatever. It could be a metaphor for any place. It could be a metaphor for anything, or it could be just in the very distant future with still very modern problems. So, definitely check out Gustavo's other work. Email him if you can that you are interested in this and that you want to know, and if there's any more information, or if there is still a way to still purchase this book. 100% definitely look it up. As I said, his website is Gustaffo Vargas, which is GUSTAFFOVARGAS.com.
Yes, and if you're driving while you're listening to us, don't worry. It'll be in the description of the episode. I'm going to tag, I'm going to put it in the description. I'm going to put the website information and the Instagram information. So always check out that information because it always has the creator information, so you can follow and like their feeds and all the stuff that they're working on.
And
But
just to
that
let
has
you know,
been-
oh,
Yes.
sorry.
No, go
Sorry.
ahead.
What I was going to say is pay attention to my en la librerias. I know good stuff, okay?
Absolutely. I mean, oh my! I knew that when you backed this, I knew it was going to be good. But my God, I did not expect to be crying at the end. Thanks, Jen.
Mwah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for En La Libreria with our co-host and lovely Jen.
I'm here. Anyways, today I have another gay thing.
Yay, Nathan!
Surprising no one. Rainbow Canvas, Valentine's annual 2025 BL and GL webtoons. And BL is basically boys love and GL is basically girls love. So brand new wholesome queer romance stories from 11 of your favorite boy love and girl love webtoon canvas series. So, this is an anthology, and it is being done by Phil Falco from Lifeline Comics. The creators of the anthologies Transphoria, Bi Visibility, and Herology, as well as Webtoon Canvas series Slice of Life, combine two of their greatest passions to bring you a new queer anthology and the biggest Webtoon Canvas crossover you've ever seen. Are you tired of melancholy queer stories? I'm going to say this out right now. I'm never tired of sad gay stories. Give me all the sad gay stories. But I will also take happy gay stories. Rainbow Canvas is the breath of fresh air you've been waiting for. And even if it isn't, I like being sad. So, anyways, featuring 11 brand new, completely original stories from the worlds of your favorite LGBTQA Webtoon Canvas titles. Rainbow Canvas delivers all of the wholesome, positive, fluffy queer love stories you could ask for. Healthy and functional queer BL and GL relationships across a wide range of genres, including slice of life, mermaids, social media stars, vampires, and more.
Oh,
For our
my
second
gosh.
installment, contributors include incredibly popular Webtoon Canvas titles such as Slice of Life, Phantoms of Atonement, My Dragon Girlfriend, To Be Honest, Lesbian Vampires, and more. Then they have a feature of all the slices of all the stories that they are going to be featuring, as well as previews for them, and they also have introductions to the writers, links to their Twitters, as well as for the artists. A lot of this artwork is really, really beautiful, really, really cool. And if you are a fan of Webtoon, you have probably either come across these or seen these being featured, because I know they featured a lot on either Webtoon or Canvas. Definitely check them out. Right now they are looking for a goal of $15,000. They're already more than halfway through it. They're currently at $9,038 with 263 backers and 27 days to go. Now,
Wow.
the base pledge, well, you can always make a pledge without expecting a reward. You just want to show your support. But there is a base pledge of $1 where you get an indie comic book bundle digital, and it doesn't include this one, but it does include like Kamikaze Volume 1, Tokyo Blade Detectives Volume 1, Ice Pick Number 1, Legends of the Tracker X, Blood and Fire Number 1. After that, the next tier up is $8, where you get the Valentine's Annual 2025 digital PDF copy. And $8, that's pretty good, very reasonable. You are getting a ton of stories for this. 11, I believe it was what it said. 11 brand new, completely original stories. So for $8, that's really, really good. And then there's a premium digital version that is $13. The premium digital PDF version is the 44-page Webtoon anthology, but it also has everything from the standard PDF, high-res digital copies of all cover variants for Volume 2, and as well as never-before-seen works in progresses, script excerpts, alternate pages, and more. The next tier up from that is $15 for a physical copy of the book, and this is with cover A. There's going to be multiple covers that you can choose from, and they're going to be at different prices. The next tier up from that is $25, and it's going to be different versions of bundles. So some of them have Slice of Life Volume 1, some of them have different issue number ones of some of the same stories that are going to be in here. There are a lot of tiers, so I'm not going to cover all of them, but those are kind of like the base pledge ones that they're having right now. It looks amazing. The art ranges very, very differently. The themes ranging from these. I think this is very much. I joke about it a lot, but this is very much a book that emphasizes queer joy and queer, like love in a positive, fulfilling light. Not everybody can be like me. But definitely check it out. Rainbow Canvas Valentine's Annual 2025 on Kickstarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Juntos y Fuertes with Kristen, our lovely co-host.
We're so fancy today. So today I have for you Juntos y Fuertes is our segment where we highlight projects and creators from marginalized communities who have projects and other things that we feel like need to be shared with our listeners. And today I have for you something called Malik Books. And basically, Malik Books is a Black-owned independent bookstore with a rich history and strong commitment to promoting African American culture, education, and community engagement. Some of the key highlights of Malik Books' mission and activities are specialization in African American books and cultural diversity, focus on children's books, a curated section that prides itself on offering conscious, hard-to-find, hot, and best-selling books that caters to a wide range of interests within the African-American community, and a long-standing presence. They've been in the community of Los Angeles since 1990. They have 2 physical stores, one at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza and another in Westfield Culver City Mall. They also have an online presence, so don't worry if you're not from the Los Angeles area. You can go to malikbooks.com. That's MALIKBOOKS.com. And they also have a podcast. It's called Malik's Bookshelf. And to further engage with the community and promote literature and culture, Malik Books has launched a podcast that is produced by Ryan Seacrest, and it's available on various podcast platforms. They have community outreach, and check this out. They have Malik's Bookmobile, which basically aims to promote reading and education in underserved areas. So my thought is that they drive this little bookmobile around to marginalized communities and offer books to the kids that may not be able to necessarily have opportunity to come and visit them at their shop. They also have a scholarship initiative. They collaborate with organizations like Crusader Praise Scholarship Fund and provide scholarships for college freshmen. Over the past 5 years, they've raised over $20,000 and awarded 18 scholarships. They also have partnerships with schools, youth organizations, and literacy initiatives that promote reading within the community. They have also sponsored book drives in underserved areas of Los Angeles and help contribute to literary efforts. So Malik Books is freaking doing phenomenal work out there in Los Angeles County, and they are available to be accessed online as well. You can find out all about their events. They had some amazing events, and that's how I found out actually about them, because they had a book launch event for a graphic novel called The Heart of a Black Man. It was a book release that happened, I think, last week. So I didn't find out about it until it had already passed. But that book actually was an anthology of inspiring stories of triumph and resilience that provided a resounding voice to the experience of Black men. And there was a signing by the co-author Malik Muhammad, Dr. Rael Sims, and Cornell Ward and Kendra Berry. But upcoming events, they have best selling author Tabitha Brown is going to be there on March 15th. They have Black Children's Book Week, starting March 1st. They have a Black History Month book event that also, I don't think this will be up by then, but they just have a super amazing calendar of events. They had Terry Crews there. They had Cedric the Entertainer. Just very amazing stuff. And I never even knew this place existed. So please, if you're in the area, give them a visit. And if you're not, go to their website. You will be supporting an amazing Black-owned, woman-owned business.
Awesome. Do they take donations via the web portal or the web?
I don't know. I didn't see anything on there about donations, but it doesn't say anything about donations. But let me look at their menu. No, it doesn't. But I bet you if you reached out to them for their book drives that they participate in, they'd be more than happy to let you know how you can help.
Awesome. That sounds really amazing. And also, if you're driving or if you don't have anything to jot this information down, again, it's going to be in the summary of the episode. If you just look at that, you could always get all the information. We will tag all the pertinent information and have the website there. All right, guys, now it's time for saludos. And oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm allowed to have this saludos right now, but I just feel like I need to say it, and it comes from the heart, and I'm just so freaking excited. 100% baby, the halftime show at Super Bowl. Come on. Yes. Oh my God.
He's got the world wrapped around him.
Yes, his finger.
A star.
He is transcendent. He's freaking amazing. I did not know this, but he won the Pulitzer Prize for music in 2018 for his album Damn. Yep. Yeah. He won 5 Grammys this year, 2025, and he was at the Super Bowl. And you know what? A lot of people are like, oh, you know what? I didn't like the Super Bowl. It wasn't entertaining. This was art. This was just so freaking amazing. Just having the dancers form an American flag that was cut in the middle because America is divided. just one thing. Anyway, you can go online on TikTok, anywhere you want to go. They're going to break down the performance for you. But honestly, for me, it was freaking art. I love it. And Kendrick Lamar, a son of Compton. I am residing in Compton. So yes, saludos goes out to Kendrick Lamar. Dude, I'm ready to buy my very first vinyl of a current artist. And that is saying a lot.
You need to do that quick because his vinyls are already going up in price.
I
I
bet.
already got all of mine.
better
I've been
go get
have all of mine.
Yeah, no, I mean, because I don't have a CD player anymore, and yeah, I have a vinyl. Isn't that funny? I don't have a CD player, but I do have a record player. But anyway, I'm going out after this. Like next week, I'm gonna go get my vinyl because, yes, and Not Like Us, filmed in Compton, baby. You do that right. Like that was amazing. You didn't do it like I'm so sorry, Jen. Beyonce put up all these walls around the park, and nobody could see anything when she was filming in Compton at the tennis court. Sad. But Kendrick Lamar was out there, with his people and stuff, and I really appreciate that. And I think he's just a freaking master. He's just like amazingly a genius. So anyway, I can't say enough of that. And I know everybody's talking about the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna end it here. Just saying, Kendrick Lamar, saludos. I know it's our little podcast, but I appreciate you. I do. All right, guys, this brings us to the end of this episode. Where can they find us, Kristen?
You can find us at our website at comadresycomics.com, where you can find all of our social handles, including links to our episodes. You can also watch us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, Comadresy Comics Podcast, where if you don't just want to listen, but you also want to watch, you can do that. And way back in the day, we still have a show called Las Platicas, but we used to only upload our Las Platicas on YouTube, so you can actually see interviews with with amazing creators that we have met and read and reviewed their books in the past. So definitely check all that out. You can stream us on all the major streaming platforms, and if you have something particularly cool to share with us, you can email it to comadresycomics@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We really appreciate that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens, everybody out there, animals, you can now comment on our episodes on Spotify. So if you're streaming on Spotify, you can leave us a comment and we will read it on our episode. So let us know if you don't like us, you hate the way my face is crooked, I don't know, whatever you want to tell us, please do. We really appreciate you guys engaging with us. Absolutely, 100%. So now again, you can comment on our episodes on Spotify if you're streaming us on Spotify. Thank you so much for joining us. We have been your host. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jen.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.